Okay, awesome. We are live. So let's just start with
Everyone,
this.
SmythOS ver- Hey everyone, SmythOS version 4 is finally here, packed with new features to help you build, test, and deploy agents faster and more efficiently. Let's dive into what's new. First, we're introducing SmythOS recommended models. You now have direct access to a curated list of built-in AI providers, along with their best performing models available instantly out of the box. No setup headaches. Just select a model from OpenAI, Anthropic, Google AI, or Perplexity. No need to bring keys, just integrate immediately. Next is form previews. We spent a lot of time thinking about the best way to help users validate their API endpoints. Now, you no longer need a working app to test if your API calls are functioning properly. Form previews provide a familiar built-in UI that translates your agent skills inputs into form fields and instantly displays the API output, allowing you to test each endpoint independently. Third, SmythOS v4 now fully supports OpenAPI, making it easier than ever to integrate existing OpenAPI based RPAs or third party services. You can now add and use APIs from your external API hub directly in your agent and share agents effortlessly by providing their OpenAPI file URLs, generated by SmythOS. It's all about smooth transitions and maximum flexibility, zero friction. Fourth, we've introduced two powerful built-in tools to help your AI agents tap into real-time online data. The web search tool enables agents to conduct live online searches, while the web scraper tool allows agents to extract relevant content from web pages. These tools ensure that your AI content remains fresh, accurate, and contextually relevant. Lastly, we've added two new features to make building and debugging even smoother. First is Prettify. Prettify instantly reorganizes and formats complex agent workflows for easier editing and optimization. No more manual adjustments. Just click and watch your workflow tidy itself up. Next is Inspect. Inspect provides real time visibility into every step of your process. Quickly debug by checking API call logs, network performance, and source data, all in a single panel. And here are some free tips and shortcuts to boost your productivity. For bulk selecting components, hold Command for Mac or Control for Windows while dragging your cursor over multiple components to do bulk component selection. To export agents, use Command Shift E for Mac or Control Shift E for Windows to export your agent as a Smith file for easy sharing. We hope you enjoy these new features. Let us know your thoughts on our Discord server. Happy building!
All right, folks, welcome. All right, let's figure this out here. All right. Hi, I'm Timmy. So I'm the head of growth, and Shell. We have Shell here. Shell,
Yeah,
what's your
hi
official
everyone.
title? What's your official title?
I'm currently the director of product marketing, but I think if we have some people here who's been with us since last year, since we first started SmythOS, they pretty much know me from all the videos I created for the products. And yeah, I just really want to thank everyone who's been supporting us since day one.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, sweet. So yeah, so the way this will we want to bring the most value to you guys as possible. So it's 10 people here. That's awesome. 11. So cool. So the way we can do this that we think is most efficient is if you're shy and you just want to ask your question on chat and YouTube, that's totally cool. You can just like ask it and try to put as much detail as possible about maybe some issue you're currently having, or if you're not a Smith user already, then you can ask just like a general question about, hey, can it do X, Y, Z? Then we can totally address that. If you're not feeling shy and you want to actually come up, there in the description, in the YouTube video description, there's a link like to to the StreamYard where you can actually come up and come in and ask your question on voice if you want. Or you can and you can also share screen and be like, hey, this specific part, this component, I don't get it. Yeah, so that's it. So yeah, you can do either one, and yeah. So while some people are probably like typing in some question, Shell, do you want to you want to show some while people are waiting for the first question? You want to show one of the new templates we have?
Uh, no, this is not technically a template. If you can just add to the stage my screen,
Yeah, yeah,
Timmy. Yeah.
yep.
So I think for starter, I want to focus on one of the most asked. question that we're
Ah, okay.
getting. Yeah, from our users, especially on Discord, in our Discord community, right? So many of our users really want to make their agent very conversational. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the most popular use case for our agent is, embedding it as a chat assistant here and there, right? And when we do that, we want to make sure that it's very, conversational, that it can really hold a conversation with users. So the thing is, our customers, like, our users come to us and tell us, hey, the agent does nothing. Like, if I say hello to the chat, it's like very monotone. Like, it doesn't do anything at all. It doesn't trigger anything. So, you know, when you're working with an agent, and this is something that every new builder, every new person who uses our product should know. You go to settings, and we have here what we call the behavior. So the behavior controls how the agent interacts through the chat embodiment, right? So if you want your agent to, let's say, come up with a very specific greeting, or if you wanted to have this spill that it's gonna tell the user when they first interact with it, you can put them here. If you have very specific instruction for an agent, and you want that agent to, do exactly as that, when someone chats with it through the chat embodiment, make sure that you add all those, intended behavior in this feature here. So I'm gonna remove this just to demonstrate how it's gonna look like if you leave the behavior empty. And I'm just gonna share, or I'm just gonna save that behavior because I don't have a copy of that. All right, so this is an appointment setter agent that we've created. It's not polished, but this is something that we've helped a client develop. So this is more like a demo piece for him to use as a template. So what it does is that it is schedules meetings for that particular client, right? So he wants to embed this in his website, and then when someone comes in, chats with it, does the, usual conversation. It should be able to ask that customer if they wanna have a call with the intended customer support or salesperson. So this is what happens when you don't have the behavior here. So I'm gonna test this agent. Oops, let me just refresh that. All right. Oh, also this one here, you can also update that in here, the intro message. So it's totally up to you how you want. So I'm gonna say hello, and then I can ask it anything. What can you do? It's like there's no limit. All right. If I ask it, do you
So real
know?
quick, so Shell, those four answers are the four skills of this agent, right?
Yeah, not
Overviewing the
yeah, not
skills.
necessarily skills, but yeah, these are the things that it can do because we have an agent description here, and the agent reads through the skills as well. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, this is the thing that it
Mm.
can do. So the thing is, you don't have restrictions. So if you don't put those restrictions, any person can ask anything to your agent, and then it's gonna answer everything. There's like no structure to it. It's conversational, but if you don't have the specific instruction on how it's gonna interact with the user, it's just gonna answer everything. And the problem is, it might hallucinate, which is very common in all LLM models, right? So you don't want to do this. So I'm gonna start adding some instruction to our agent here. All right. First, I'm gonna describe what its primary role is and what it should do. So I'm gonna say in the behavior here that that this agent is a professional scheduling assistant for this company, Put to Go. I'm the owner, I'm the founder, as you can see. And then my first instruction is, on first interaction, I want this agent to let the user know about this thing, this information here. This is what I wanted to say. All right, I'm gonna close this and save this because as you can see on my first interaction, when I say hello, this is what it said, right?
Mm.
I don't want it to go, and just do the generic stuff. So I'm gonna refresh this. And then I'm gonna say hello there, right? That's
Mm.
more structure. You can ask it to tell the user about your company, which it basically does here, right? What it does and stuff. Now it's asking, would you like to schedule a meeting with Shell? Blah 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 blah. So I'm gonna say yes. Okay. Let's see what happens because this is not the intended um date name super date. Yeah, so it's not gonna perform because it's asking for a date range. So I'm gonna say March 15 to, oh no no, April 3 to 25, uh 10 a.m. Okay, it still work. Could you please provide another? Yeah, because that's not the intended instruction. So the second instruction that I have for this agent is basically this one. So I'm gonna add the second and third instruction. All right. Because this will drag the conversation and the agent will not work as intended. So what's happening here is that the agent is trying to come up with the best response and use the skill as much as it could to come up with a solution or just execute what it's supposed to do, but it's gonna drag the conversation. It's gonna end up with this missed API call. So now I'm gonna add a second and third instruction here. So my second instruction is that after the initial spiel, this should be spiel. Let me just. All right. It,
Hey, Shel, before you continue, like we have some question here, so maybe let's address
yeah.
the question. I think this is one for you. I put it up on the
Oh
screen
yeah.
for you.
Yeah. I saw.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So we're working on some things around audio integration like this, but at the moment we're not doing this. We don't support live talking avatars. But here's the thing: if Hagen has I can't remember if Hagen has an API, so I don't exactly know what the use case here. So if your intention is to use Hagen to communicate with people, but actually get the response from a SmythOS AI agent, right? And if Hagen supports APIs, if it
It
supports
does.
API communication, then yeah, this is possible.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I just looked it up real quick. They
Yeah,
do have. It seems like it's a pretty robust API. Like there's 9
awesome.
different sections about the API. Um,
Yeah. So if the intention again is to use Hagen as like the front facing, right, application that communicates with the person, but the actual response that Hagen will say will come from a SmythOS agent, then yeah, this is possible.
what Hey TT, what would you like to use it for? Is it more for sales or more for like training and back end
Marketing,
stuff?
yeah.
Because that's pretty. Whenever I think about these kinds of things, that's like
This
the main yeah, the main thing.
this is a really good use case. Who knows, right? Maybe we should create one template for this, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
wants to use it for marketing and sales.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I mean, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure if we can have it like lip syncing the AI model. I mean, it depends because if like that's the really interesting things that can be done with Smith and a secondary like tool or app is like we can be powering a lot of the things that happens perhaps before and after something like HeyGen. I would say Turk, give it a shot if you're already having an account. Try it,
Yeah.
and Yeah,
Yeah,
Jesus says, I think looking at
yeah.
fake human is better than text. Yeah. Do you have an account already, Turk? Because
Yeah, if
then you
you
can.
have and you need support with integration and stuff, we can definitely assist you with that. I think
Yeah.
we have another question here, Timmy, from
Sure.
Captain Salmon. Like, can a chatbot be turned into a WhatsApp or yes, absolutely. We do support integration with WhatsApp. Let me just show it to you. Through if you go to our integrations, uh, yeah, we support it via Twilio at the moment. So you can definitely with Messenger. Are we referring to Facebook Messenger?
I think so.
Yeah, if it's Messenger right now we don't support it, but yeah, if I think that's something that we can discuss with the product team if that's something that we want to support. But at the moment we don't. But with WhatsApp, we do support WhatsApp via Twilio.
I think just to add something in here from because I'm a big marketing person. I mean that's what I do. So
Mhm.
um, now, Captain, call you Captain. What do you captain, by the way? Do you a boat or something, or just like your business? Um, I would say like
Salmon.
maybe we don't have yet. Yeah, maybe we don't have yet the like the exact Facebook
Yeah.
Messenger like API connections. But what I can say is like for me, like I will use SmythOS for like the stuff that, like I said, like I just said about the Hey Reach question, the stuff that happens before. So
Yeah.
like what's happening before, like what do you want to do, like what do you really want to get done, so because you can start to prep messages that you may do outbound for people like through through messenger or through other channels, and you can do a lot of stuff like before that, but obviously handling the conversation, we're not having a direct connection yet. You'll have to stick with perhaps you're using some of the other chatbot
Platform,
services
yeah.
right now. Yeah, many chat or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot you can do before and after, which is pretty exciting. All right, cool, good stuff so far.
Yeah.
Um,
Awesome. Yeah.
all
Going
right,
back to what we're
yeah,
doing, what I'm showing you guys. So yeah, basically I added here my second and my third instruction for this agent. What I wanted to do, so I wanted to ask the user if they want to meet with the founder or whoever it is that they want to be in the call, or and then when the customer says yes, they will then ask for this follow-up questions. Hi Sola. All right. So now let's try again. Now it's asking me if I want to, and I'm going to say yes. Okay, now it's asking me for my full name, my email, my preferred meeting date, and stuff. Now, but I don't want it to ask me in this particular way. I want it to ask me these questions one at a time. All right. So now I'm gonna add another instruction. Well, I'm just gonna add the rest of my instruction. I have 7 instruction for this agent. How I wanted to interact with the user. So I'm just gonna say that it needs to ask the question one at a time. Then after capturing all the information, it must summarize it and again verify with the customer if they're good or they want to change anything, and then return the responses. It. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna refresh this again. Okay. I'm gonna say yes. Now it's gonna ask me those information one at a time. So now it's asking me for my full name. I'm just gonna say Jane Doe. Um, Okay, I'm gonna say April P. 11 a.m.
So this is pretty cool. So if you just join, Shell is showing how if you don't put behavior into
Yeah,
the agent, and if you leave it blank, it will not be doing what it's doing right now.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. It will come up with all sorts of things on how it's gonna adapt the way it communicates with the yeah, it's gonna adapt its behavior to how to how the user is communicating with it. Which again, if you have skills or if you wanna control, how it interacts with the user, it's not really helpful at all. So if the intention is to get the user, especially for this one, this is an appointment setter, right? If the intention is to get these customers, to schedule a call with you at the soonest possible time. You don't want to drag the conversation, right?
mm.
You want to get on point with it. So it's asking me if it's accurate. I'm going to say yes, all good. All right. So now it's calling onto this API. Now it has booked it. Now let me confirm with my. So it's
Is that
supposed to
already
send an
connected?
email.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it is. It's actually. Let me just refresh this. All right. So now, as you can see, I don't know if it's let me just present another. I think I should reshare my
Yeah, I got it.
other.
Do
Sorry.
window. No
I just
worries.
realized we can't share
It's fine.
multiple. Yeah.
All
Yeah, if
good.
you can just show that. Yeah. So this is the email. As you can see, I've received the confirmation that someone booked a call with me, right? So, yeah. Now
So
we
so
have an appointment setter.
yeah, that's super awesome. Can you go back to the canvas? I want to ask the question that people are probably thinking. Um,
Oh yeah, let me
it's kind of
just
you can do it again.
oh no, I think
Um,
let me just go to my other screen. All right, there you go.
so yeah, so Solo's like, yeah, I'm trying to take it all in. I totally get that. I think one thing that really helps me with all this, and I would say I'm like a beginner to, I would say I'm like an intermediate agent builder at this point. I've been building agents with many different environments for about a year now. And one thing solo that's really helped me is to really like, first of all, we got to get into focus mode, right? So whether you got headphones and some like white noise in your ear or like, and shutting everything out. Sometimes this hat works because like I'm like a dog, like a horse. Like I only can look at these things. I actually, my wife tells me I have the horse celestial sign, which is pretty funny. So it helps me focus because if I go like this, I can like see more things. All right. Anyway, but you gotta like get focused. Maybe get some caffeine in you, and then like we really have to do these things like part by part. So like this whole thing with the LLM, an agent, its skills. It's not calling all of them. It's not like a traditional logic based step by step Zapier or something else workflow. Like we got to look at these things one at a time, right? So go to. Can you scroll like to the left, like to back to the beginning, just like pan, yeah, and then zoom in. I want to see what these three skills are.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So basically, like um, we have an agent and it has three potential skills, right, of things that it can do. And then if we leave behavior blank, like it's just going to be super like just blank, and then it's going to be working pretty much off of the LLM, like the base LLM. It's
exactly.
just kind of, and then it's going to try to, when it determines one of those skills are relevant, it will then go to one of those paths. So when we give it behavior, we're more like like restricting its focus to what it can do and how it should behave, right? Behavior. And then this, like the skills are more like the automations, like the traditional like kind of automation pathways that we're more used to in like these other like traditional platforms. I hope, does that make sense for the folks, our 15, 16, 17 viewers? Does that make sense? Like, because sometimes I struggle, like if I like sometimes at the beginning these things were kind of hard to think about, but like we're really deciding like how we're helping the agent to like do this really high level like decision making process, and that's really where the value is where we're giving the agent, you know, agency, like that's what the definition of the word agency is, to actually like to make decisions, right? So we give it these skills that are potential options it can take, and automations to like automate processes and you know make scale, and like behaviors where we're like, okay, here's a little bit of help on how you should perform. Does this make sense, right, Shell?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Didi got it. It said sounds like behavior guides the agent to what is it? Custom use versus LLM generic outputs. Yeah, you can
Mm-hmm.
say that. It acts some as some sort of guide. Now I've added another one here, another instruction that I wanted to, not answer
Mm-hmm.
questions not related to what it's doing. So I'm gonna ask it one more time if it knows Superman.
Uh,
Let's see if it's gonna. Yeah, so now it's not gonna answer any questions not related. So if you're a builder and basically again let's just remind every builder here that every task here consumes LLM LLM token, right? And you don't want to spend tokens on unnecessary conversations. So this is also a good way to make sure that your agent is operating within, within the task, within the task that you assigned it to perform, to do. And at the same
mm.
time, you're not wasting token on, again, unnecessary conversations.
So I have one idea I want to share with the folks here just at this moment, because like people are asking mostly marketing and sales kind of agentic agent questions, right? I want to give you guys the idea, basically like definitely make agents to use inside your business to like you know add features, if you want to call that, to your business, but also consider the concept or the idea, like if you're doing marketing, you can be making agents like for your marketing that are very powerful, and you can call them lead magnets if you want, but there's so much you can do to make a lead magnet for like as part of your marketing, for your prospects. And it's something that has become very like hyper relevant these days. Shell just mentioned that the cost of the LLMs, but yes, but or it's really yes and it's yes, and on the other hand, depending on which model you use, it can get very cheap. So the price, it's almost going to zero sometimes. Like if you use OpenAI 4.0 Mini, like I have tier 4 out of tier 5 access. So like the cost like per run, is like it can be
Yeah.
0.001 sometimes. So it's really interesting. This opens up the ability to make custom lead magnets, like dynamic lead magnets at scale. So, if I would encourage you guys that are doing marketing and sales to think about like chat, like just break everything. I'm a chemical engineer by training and a little bit by trade. So like I'm always looking at each process and each system. So try to break everything. And what I mean by that is like challenge the assumptions that like why do you have to wait for the prospect to like engage with you before you like do something for them to bring them value? Like if I can run information about them for 0.001 cents per run, I don't have to go and like pay $15 per hour for somebody to go and like do 2 hours of design work for one client and say, hey, I made you a design, do you like it? With the models and agents, like you can use your account right now to make it an agent that runs through like all of your prospects and makes them something custom for like pennies. So it's like it's crazy, like so always be trying to like zoom out a bit. We can zoom in and look at a component, but then also zoom out on there's so many ideas. And I'm happy to share the ideas that we're using like internally for Smith to promote Smith, and then we're going to show the agents as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that kind of stuff. We're going to make them as templates as well. But
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense for folks.
Yeah. Awesome. Really good points there, Timmy. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it with behavior. I just really want to encourage everyone, if your intention for building an agent is to later on deploy it as a chat embodiment, make sure that you use behavior. And yeah, and guide your agent, like let your agent know how it's supposed to interact with your intended users. And what else? I
So we have one more
think
question here.
need to
Michael
be
is asking
clear.
a question. He says, "Can you have guardrails to ensure agent will operate within a specified budget?"
um I think I think this is more like a sales. Let me just go over my.
Well, I mean, like if you think about where it depends on like what kind of agent we're talking about, like which right, like are we talking about because you can control that in scheduling, right? Like how you schedule, how many times you schedule the agent to
Yeah,
run. Um, Obviously, you have control on that because that's when and then you can figure out basically if you run the agent once and then you're going to schedule it to run 100 times per day. If it runs for you know 5 cents and you run it 100 times per day, it's going to be $5, right? So then you can calculate like that, but restricting well, I mean, I know from, I mean, I haven't built a specific agent yet that I've used a token restriction, but I know that that you can do that. I've built agents. I tell ChatGPT and Claude, hey, use use 100,000 tokens, like yeah, like it will, or it will get close, and you can say, hey, don't spend more than 1 cent, or don't spend more than 5 cents. And
yeah,
yeah, we have our founder here,
yeah.
Alexander.
In the
Thank you, Alexander.
analytics.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
cost per
believe in
agent. Yeah.
yeah, I believe in our analytics page, Timmy. If you're an account owner, you're a paid account owner, there's a section there where you can actually set budget limits. But I'm not a, I'm not an account owner, so I can show it. But yeah, we can definitely, if you can share your email with us, Michael. Yeah, we can definitely send you some explanation around it.
But for sure, Michael, like I'm using the LLMs, and I'm telling it, hey, don't like telling it to use a certain number of tokens, and you can guide it like this. But yeah, it's worth experimenting. I'm not 100% sure though, um, how that would look in here. I guess you could put it in behavior, but I'm not sure. Let's see.
The
Michael's
1
asking, can
client
the
call.
analytics be tied? Not
Well,
sure.
you can create spaces. Like for instance, if you're working with a client, you can set a you can this is something that we need to look at. I'm not pretty sure about it, but I think we can't assign budget, but we can
Per
see
space.
how each spaces performs, like the cost,
Mm.
like the of some sort. But yeah, these are really good questions. Let us take a look at this, and then again, if you can share with us your contact email, Michael or TT, if you're also interested to know, we can send over a more detailed response after this webinar.
Good questions. Good questions. There's always something new.
Yeah.
So okay, I will. Let me share my screen for a second, just because um, I have
Yes.
this on one of my accounts.
Yeah,
Um,
Alexander is responding. Can we post Alexander's response,
oh
Timmy?
yeah.
Can we highlight it, spotlight it? Yeah, there you go.
Alexander says, when you build the agent, the complexity, how many AI calls, etc., dictates the cost. Then you use analytics to see costs and extrapolate easily per day per agent's perspective. Yeah, and on that note, so here is like what my analytics looks like. Let
There
me
you
go
go.
to it. So you can see just like task usage, and then you have spaces. So there's different. You can do it by space, and then do it by agent and by time. Yeah. So hope that helps, Michael. Cool. All right. All right. So we talked about the behavior and the chat embodiment, like I want to call it a feature, but just the thinking
Yeah,
behind it. Yeah, very very useful. Very useful.
yeah. I think, yeah, if they don't have any other questions about the behavior and our chat embodiment, I wanna go through another question that we always receive from our Discord community. Um,
Yeah.
it's how to share their chat embodiment, because
Mm.
this thing, how to embed and how to share it, right? I think Timmy
Yeah,
also
yeah,
asked
yeah.
me that
I see
one,
this. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because yeah, at the moment, we're of course consistently working on our US. But yeah, so the thing is,
Hmm.
for us to be able to share this, we need to deploy it, and it's really easy to deploy with SmythOS. So you just click deploy here. So here's the thing: you can deploy using your own subdomain. So you can add. So if you want it more like a white labeled thing, if it's something that you want to share, if it's a link that you want to share with customers, and some people through your emails or your socials, you might want to use your own subdomain, but it's for internal use or for quick sharing. You can actually deploy your agent using the default subdomain that SmythOS provides for free. So I'm just gonna call it version 1.0. I'm gonna use the subdomain that we have here, and then I'm gonna deploy it. And then that's it. This agent is already deployed. And now I can embed it anywhere on any website, web pages that I like. So you'll see the change logs here. The thing with deploying your agent is like this version is gonna work on production as it is right now. Okay? It's gonna work as it is. But at the same time, I can also make changes to it, and it's not gonna impact the production version of the agent, right? You can now look at this canvas here like your staging environment, where you can continuously update, add more skills to your agent without worrying that the agent will fail in production. All right. So it's not gonna impact it. It will only impact the production version if you deploy the updates that you made. All right. And every time you deploy an update to your agent, you're gonna see them here in this change log here. And then you'll have an option to restore. So if something fails, you can always have the option to restore or revert back to the previous version or whatever version that you want to revert to. Okay. Now I have my agent deployed. I'm going to go to deployments here. All right. If I want to use this as a chat embodiment, I need to enable the chatbot here. All right. And one thing that users, I think some of our new users don't know about, is that you can actually customize your chatbot. So if you click the configuration here, you can actually make some adjustments like this one here. You can actually replace this with like the logo. I don't think we can replace the logo. Yeah, because it's a free one. But you can actually replace your logo. You can change the colors. You can make some minor, customizations here. And if you're gonna deploy it to any to a website, you can also add here some restrictions on where you want it to work, only any particular pages or domains you want the agent to work. Yeah, and then you can, yeah, absolutely, for changing the icon, I missed this one, or the logo. You can actually use your own logo and stuff, and just save the configuration here. All right, now let me just refresh this because I'm not seeing my embed stuff. We have a question here from Angie.
Yeah.
Timmy.
Yeah. She says analytics shows tasks, right?
So
Yes,
while
that's
my
true.
screen is loading, um, analytics shows.
Go ahead. I'm gonna pull it
Yes.
up.
Let me.
No, look, I already shared for you. Hang on. I got the model rates. Do you want to explain this? This is what the documentation says for on the analytics page about tasks. I'm sharing on here now.
Yeah, give me a moment. Analytics
Yeah,
shows
sure.
task, right? Is there a difference in task but says model usage? Is there a difference? For example, if mine says 12 tasks, that doesn't show LLM model. Yeah, there's a difference between LLM model usage and tasks. So every time you run an agent, let me just show you. Am I showing my screen? Can you quickly just show my screen,
Oh
Timmy?
yeah, sure.
So I can,
Go ahead.
yeah. So task Angie is like every time you, let's say I call this API endpoint here, I run this. This is a three component workflow, and every call this component does to perform to execute the entire job is equivalent to one task. So you can say one component call is equivalent to one task. So this will count as three tasks here. All right. So it's a different billing. All right. And then LLM model usage is when you use when let's say I'm using the Gen AI LLM model here, right? And I'm using a SmythOS. I don't have it because I'm using a different account, but I'm using a SmythOS supported LLM model. So LLM usage is deducted or added to That's where my usage comes from. So it's a different billing. So it's a different billing as well. All right. So yeah, task is different from LLM model usage. Just to cut it short. Does that answer your question, Angie?
But we need to define the task, right? So um, if you bring your own key, then you're just gonna be paying whatever
Or the
you would be
task?
paying. Let's say OpenAI. If you're using an OpenAI key, you're gonna pay whatever tier you're at. You're gonna be paying for the token usage that you use. Um, but specifically for and then if you bring your own key, you're only then paying for the task execution.
Yes.
Um, which and then now what does that mean? Um, and Alexander is
Yeah.
again helping saying
Said
analytics shows LLM uses if you use like our keys, not if you bring your own. So if you bring your own, you're going to have to look at your platform.openai like the usage in that area there.
let me
Um,
share my other screen so we can see the difference.
sure.
Because this one shows the difference in um yeah. I don't know if it's gonna be big enough for them to see if ever.
Just
So this is how it looks like. I think it's
yeah,
really
zoom in.
small.
Yeah, that's better.
I hope
It's
it,
cool.
yeah.
No,
As
this
you
is
can
good.
see, I'm being billed differently for agent task. I'm being billed differently for Weaver. As you can see, since I'm like I would say power user because I use multiple agents, LLM models. You can see here that I'm being billed for different LLM models. And this is because I'm using the SmythOS model for all the agents that I'm building right now.
So to precisely answer the question though, it's like the task usage is different than this, right? So LM
Yes.
usage, if you're using your own keys, as Alexander says, the costs analytics are amazing. You'll be able to see exactly how they're billing you. If you use our keys, it's a slight increase, but you get it's just easier to use our keys. And then you have task execution, which so then I'll share here. Let me share this one. Hopefully it's their screen. So here we have task execution. Um, so for the core services, as you were saying, Shell, like per component, right? Per component is a task. So 0.001 per task. Um, and then, so Shell, some people are probably thinking like, so we do give free credits depending on what plan they're on. Does this
Yeah.
task execution cover is that under here or is that for LLM usage with our keys?
Um, LLM models, like the AI credits, that's what we're talking
Okay.
about, is for LLM
Yep.
models, yeah, for AI usage, but it
Got
doesn't
it.
cover tasks. Yes.
Yep. Okay. So then, yeah, that probably answers some people's question. So base rates are multiplied based on your plan versus cost. Yeah. So I mean, you can see how like 0.001 per task. So it's you have to use a lot of. Basically, the whole point is like if you're going to be using the agents, which you should, and then if you're using them a lot, like it, you compare it to like what it would actually cost to a not do it at all or hire a human to do it, and yeah, it should be clear. But yeah, keep on it, keep on it.
Oh,
Okay.
Alexander, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Alexander said that credits cover everything, including task and weaver. So yeah, it's consumable.
Oh,
It's gonna cover task and weaver.
okay.
Thank you, Alexander.
Okay, so just so okay, okay,
I think
okay.
I'm gonna answer this other question from Captain Salmon here. He's asking how can he add his LLM key? So can we
Yes.
can you can you share my screen?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Thank you so much. All right, so just to answer Captain Salmon here. So if you want to add your own LLM key, you oh no, I did I click it? No, not oh, I clicked it accidentally. So just go to the vault. I don't know if you've seen what I clicked. All right, so in the vault here, just the key. Uh, you can add your LLM models by yeah selecting which one here you want to add. If it's OpenAI, click OpenAI here, click setup, then add your API key. As simple as that, and then you're all good. All right, so you can add OpenAI. We support OpenAI, Anthropic, Together AI has a lot of models. They support a lot of models. Google AI, Gemini, the Gemini models, Grok, and then this one is pretty new to me, XAI. But yeah,
Mhm. Okay, cool. All right, so there's a question by Alan. Um,
oh yeah,
is
let
it-
me just go back to my okay. So this one, let me go back and share where the data components are.
so Alan
All
asks,
right.
can I ask data slash knowledge based questions? What happened to the data components, and how do I specify what data source specific LLM component can use?
Yeah. All right. So yeah. Okay. Forgive my. I don't know if it's my internet. It's really slow right now. But yeah, it's actually the thing is we named data. Yeah, let me just go to our components here, Alan, so I can show you. So it's still here. You can see it's called now rag search. So this is data lookup. Actually, we didn't change the uh, name when you drag and drop the component. I don't know if they can see it, but let me just yeah, this one. So and then rag remember, rag forget. It's basically data lookup, data index, and then data cleanup, if I remember it correctly. So we still have it here. It still does the thing. If you want to use rag in your agent, make sure that you create a space. And we can definitely do that by going to the data pool and then assign that particular data space or namespace to that data lookup or rag search component. I hope that answers Alan's question.
Alan says data
Oh,
components were part of my list, and then I upgraded to Builder, and they went away.
oh, do you want to answer this to me? It's because we don't have
This is you. I'm just a marketing guy.
But yeah, I think he upgraded to builder, but builder doesn't in our new plans, Alan, we don't support rag for the builder plan. So I think that's the reason why he can't access the rag components.
Okay, so oh, but okay, so but data components were showing on the free plan. Um, so, but there's no, you cannot be using. Were you running any agents, Alan?
Yeah, we can definitely. Yeah, Alexander responded, and yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
reach out to
Alan.
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi, Michael
Alexander
Walker.
is our founder, by the way. Alexander. He says Reg's not part of the builder plan, but Alan, if you need it, we can discuss. There's another question by Turk. Turk says regarding RAG, recently started seeing CAG cache augmented generation talked about. Is this something in the roadmap we will need to
Uh,
learn?
that's a good question. That's something that, yeah, maybe we can discuss with our engineering, and then we can come back to you with solid response later. To the from Michael Walker, to the RAG search component with Llama Index, Llama Cloud. Um, we have Alexander in the call, so maybe, or in the chat. At the moment, I don't think we do, but I think it's in the, yeah. Do we have Aladdin in the? Yeah, there you go. We'll definitely do, Alan. Someone from our after sales team will reach out to you.
All right, what else? We have 8 more minutes that we scheduled.
I
Let's
think
see before the
I can just record something. Yeah, I think they are pumping. Let's see if there's another question.
I don't see any right now.
Hmm.
What other you said you had like some other questions that people are constantly asking.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
something.
just the integration. So we've deployed the agent, and we wanna, let's say, embed it in a website. After deployment and making some changes to the configuration, you'll actually see this integration link here. Just click that one, then get this script, copy it, and then just follow the instruction that you have here. You paste the snippet into your website before the closing body tag, and then that's it. And then if you want to share your agent, all right, if you just want to share it with with someone, all right, you'll have your after deployment, you'll have your production link here. So just click that one, and then add chatbot the end. And now you have the entire screen, the entire browser as a chatbot. So this link here, you can now embed it in an email if you want the, yeah, if you want the appointment setting to be more conversational, you know, or you can share it with anyone. You can share it with your contacts, with your prospects about the pricing and that. I have um
So
Angie has a question. All right.
yeah, before that, just for Turk, Alexander answered the CAG question. Cache
All right.
augmented generation, our runtime is already doing this.
I think we
So
can spend
that's
the last six
yeah,
minutes, Timmy, trying to answer as much question as we can right now.
sure.
The
Yeah, Angie. Yeah, here's Angie's question.
new pricing and packages of like some of the options we have are
Not included in Builder.
yeah. Um, I think we saw that conversation. Can you yeah. Some of the new options are not. Yeah, there's definitely some changes to the new builder plan. Okay. Alexander responded. All right. And a Google Doc
Yeah.
to be at.
So Alexander is saying, yeah, for Angie, any plan questions or like whatever you need, like we can definitely give you more support, like more direct one-on-one,
Yeah.
question answer to help you to make sure like what exactly you need so that
Yeah.
you get whatever you need. We'll work
Alan
with you.
has another question regarding Google Doc URL. So actually, Alan, we have integrations with Google Doc. So if you want to use Google Doc, like, a Google document as a source for your agent, we can definitely do this. And then, yeah, as Alexander pointed out here, if he prefers to use Rag for this one, I think we can highlight Alexander's response as well.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, Brett, I think we already answered that. Turk, are you clear with that? Yeah, you can definitely use it as an iframe in your site. We also support that. You can embed it as a chatbot or as an iframe. All right. Really good questions. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah. Can you share with them, Timmy, what our plan is moving forward with this? What time, they can always come in and check with us.
Yeah, so I think this is a great start. We wanted to do a
Yeah.
lot more of these. So I think what the plan will be is going forward Tuesdays and Thursdays, just like this,
Yeah.
um, so that there's plenty of space and plenty of time because over time more people will join and more they'll have more questions. But yeah, we just want to make a space where you know Discord is async, right? It's just async. You ask a question, then you kind of just it goes into the void, and maybe someone will answer in 10 minutes or an hour, right? So this is just really cool. You can answer. If people in the future aren't feeling shy, they can literally come up, share their screen, and get really
Yeah.
focused in. Or just do it like this, which is also fine. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I think if they have some ideas or some agent use cases that they want us to
yeah,
cover, yeah, feel free to send those over to us before Tuesday or Thursday.
mhm,
We'll be happy
right.
to discuss them in these calls.
Yeah. So we should make a space for that. Maybe we'll make a Discord channel for that. If you're not on our
Yeah.
Discord, join there, and we can make a channel like, hey, for like the weekly or the twice weekly calls, and then we can kind of add those in there. They can accumulate in between the calls. That'd
Thank
be cool.
you. Thank you, Turk. Thank you, Alan.
Thursday, this feels more like
Yeah.
community support. Thanks. The futures, yeah. Turk, I
Smith
don't know.
it.
Did you already come up with that, or because or did you were you going along with what I wrote above? Because smithifying, yeah. Because you can say agentify, but smithify is that's makes more sense for us here, right?
Alexander.
Alan says not a question, but I love what you guys are doing and what will be possible. Smith
Yeah,
is Alan.
absolutely.
Thank you. Let's
Um,
connect and get your situation solved.
yeah.
Uh,
Alexander has a request here. Yeah, let's show the guys some of the amazing features that our engineering and product teams are cooking. So let me
yeah,
share. Yeah, yeah, right. Let me just
yeah,
give me a moment. Yeah, computer use.
yeah. Good idea.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, Tarek. If you get a Smith tattoo, I mean, I'm sure we can upgrade your plan somehow.
Oh no.
That'd be awesome.
Give me. Is this embedded? Oh no, it's embedded. Let me. Oh no no. I think you can. Let me just share the link with you, Timmy, and then
Sure.
maybe you can play it. I'm gonna share it to you directly. Give me a moment.
All right, folks. You're about to see some super secret stuff that is not out yet.
Yeah,
That don't tell anyone.
yeah. I think we have 17. You're the first people who actually witness what. Yeah, I'm gonna share it. Yeah, IDMB you to me.
Already, let's see. Yeah, I mean, every week the engineering team is coming up with these other things, and I'm like, oh my god, like, how is this?
Yeah,
How are they doing these things?
this is super
But,
secret. Don't tell
yeah.
anyone yet, but yeah, this will be a huge game changer.
So what do we got here? Is unlisted or okay?
It's
All
a
right, hang on.
yeah.
All right, no problem. Alrighty, hang on. Here we're sharing. You don't have to hide. It's okay. Computer use. All right, check this out, folks. You're seeing this here first. The first ones to see this. Not even on our anywhere yet. Okay, adding to the stage. Okay, so what did that say? That's real quick. Let's go back. So we're injecting a prompt that says, "Check the weather in Paris next week and give me the top 3 news headlines in
News headlines
France."
in France. Yeah.
So it's Shell. What are we
Can you
seeing here?
can you see it, guys? That is an actual browser. It's the agent actually browsing this part here. If you can emphasize it, Timmy, I don't know. Yeah, this one here. This is an actual browser. We ask the agent, you know, or this component to search for the weather forecast in Paris. And now it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, browse the internet and search for it. So this is computer. Can you see that? There you go.
So imagine what you can do with this, adding this into your workflows. I mean,
You know.
yeah. So I mean, honestly, some of the things that sometimes it's like, wait, I can do like 100 new things now with this one component, and it's like, man, I gotta build agents. This is crazy. But yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff.
So yeah, I think next week we can show them more. But for now, this is just the this is a snapshot of what we're working on. Our product, our amazing product and engineering teams are working on. So just stay tuned.
Yeah,
And yeah,
awesome,
I think we're at time. Thank you guys for joining
good
us.
stuff.
This is a really good first first webinar or community support call that we had. Okay,
Yeah, good
Alex.
stuff. Yeah, Alexander, our founder, says it already works, but we're still hardening the infrastructure for scale and security. Super awesome. So
It's
coming
coming
soon, coming
soon.
super soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and get some amazing agents there and share them with us and show us what you make, and we can feature them, and we can talk about them and stuff like this. But yeah, bring your questions and just and come and get some new ideas and stuff like this. And yeah, everybody that needs more one-on-one support, tap us on Discord, right? On Discord, or the support ticket, right? Support ticket system there. Yeah, great stuff, folks. See you next time, and look out for another email for us for when the next one will come out. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, guys.
Bye
Have a great weekend.
bye.